All right, it's recording again.
All right, guys. So, hi, guys. This is gonna be the historian teaching presentation portion of this presentation. So, just a little background information on me and introducing who I am. So, hi, I am Joshua Castilian. I go to WCTA or West Career and Technical Academy. I am the class of 2023. I am my club's key club historian. I play basketball. That's my favorite sport, and I technically am good at it. Over quarantine, I picked up a candle hobby, which is pretty. It's going good so far. And just an interesting fact about me is that I have won 3 division championships with the basketball team. So getting to the gist of what historian actually does is when you think of historian, you mainly think about taking pictures or videos or documenting stuff and saving it. So taking pictures slash videos of certain events and moments at Key Club in focal point. But that's not all a historian actually does. Historian also attends Key Club events such as service opportunities, fundraisers, RTC, etc., just so we can support our club, get those service hours in, helping our community and just benefiting it even more every day. So historian also helps out editors with any technical duties. Yes, we take pictures, we actually do our role, but sometimes we just gotta help out our board member, just help them any with technical difficulties or giving them advice on taking pictures or editing. Another thing historian actually does is manage social media posts slash status. Sometimes we're gonna be posting an Instagram story about our Kegel meeting or providing any information about flyers about service events or any fundraisers that we're hosting. And then another main thing historian will actually do is creating the end of your scrapbook, which I will be talking more in depth later and along in this presentation. So how to take quality photos and videos. So first things first, always check your battery if it's fully charged. I know it's not on the slides here, but always check if your battery is fully charged. Charge it. I prefer charging your battery the day before you're going to be actually shooting, just so when you're actually shooting, your battery is going to be fully charged. You have enough time to take photos and any editing mistakes. Second thing is make sure your setting is on the correct format. You don't want to take a photo with all the wrong format. It's going to take out all blurry. It won't be really good appealing. So make sure your setting is on correct format. Make sure your lens is on good focus. Make sure the light source is going to be on the correct format, just so your picture will be better at the end. And again, check your settings frequently. For example, if you're at RTC, you're going to be moving a lot, you're going to be outside. Sometimes the environment is not going to be too gone on you. So when you take a picture, let's say you're going to take a picture, right? And then you have all the correct settings and it'll be good. And then you're going to move around some else settings, other change of settings. Your settings going to be different. If you have the same settings that you did from last time, it won't be as good as a result for your picture. So of course, double check your settings and put them in correct format. Third thing is it's okay to retake your photos. I cannot explain this enough. It's okay to retake your photos. We want the best quality photos for our key club, just so we're putting on that much effort in. We're not degrading on historians, so no, we're not having like a teacher that's grading us on how to take photos. So it's okay to retake the photos. Again, the second thing, or the last thing I'm going to say is take photos with meaning and don't take random photos. So, for example, you're at RTC, everybody's in their spirit energy. You don't want to be taking a photo of like someone at a workshop, right? You want to be taking those highlight moments, or you want to take pictures of your board, chanting your cheers, or one of your members yelling from the top of their lungs. Those are some pictures, or some examples of pictures that you really want to take. So how to take quality videos. Now, first up, again, make sure your battery is on. Make sure your battery is fully charged, just so the whole day you wouldn't have any dead batteries and you actually have time to take photos and videos. And so when you're actually taking a video, make sure you have a steady hand, especially like if you're on an iPhone, it's easily to drop it. So make sure you have a steady hand, be aware of your surroundings. You don't want to trip and fall and having your video be all shaky, So again, keep a steady hand, especially when you're on a Canon or a Nikon camera. It's easy to drop it, and then all that camera, all those dollars, is just a waste. And then again, make sure your setting is on correctly, especially when you're recording. Just because when you have the correct, if you don't have the correct settings for your camera, the video is not going to be as good as you actually going to be hoping to. So again, make sure your setting is on correctly, and also check around the background too. So again, when I'm saying how the light exposure is going to work, make sure your video is like, say you're recording, for instance. When you're recording, all of a sudden a ray of light just pops out of nowhere. Be aware of your surroundings. Make sure your setting is on correctly. So when you're recording, that sun ray lights will actually intake it. And then lastly, be cautious of the audio. Recording, it will pick up the audio, whether you guys are being too loud, too quiet. They can hear everything, especially if you're at a really loud event such as RTC. When you're recording, you're going to hear everyone screaming. Everyone doesn't want to hear that, you know? So make sure that when you're editing, quiet down the volume just a little bit. So being part of historian is not supposed to, it shouldn't be a stressful job, you know? You want to have your creativity and your imagination flow through it. So express yourself while taking photos and videos. You don't want to be that one person that's just taking a photo and then be like, you're done. You know, express yourself, get the right angles in it, pretend like your whole board is a model, you're a photographer, you're in that cinematic universe. You're going to be like the best photographer you ever had. Express yourself, think outside of the box. Don't just take a photo of something random, like I just said, especially when you're at a fundraising event or a service event. Try to incorporate your imagination and just let loose with it. So don't stick to using your phone, especially nowadays when iPhone is gradually updating it. So we all know the iPhones with those dual cameras or tri cameras. Yes, it's a good thing it's a good quality phone to take pictures of it, but don't stick to using your iPhone. I prefer having a Nikon or Canon camera just because of the settings and it can help you improve taking photos. So next is actually have fun with editing, but not too much. And what I mean by that is you don't want to Photoshop or edit a picture too much because like what's the point of taking a photo if you're just gonna add on or Photoshop a few things. So the point of Photoshop is just cleaning up your photo just to make it quality like. So that's what we all want, those quality nice pictures just so we can post it on social media, you know, get those likes and comments. Then lastly, get the whole club involved. You don't want to be taking photos of the same person every single time. Try to get the whole club involved. Maybe have like a group picture or everyone doing a pose or doing like a TikTok dance. Just let loose of your imagination. Just let loose. Have your key club do everything that's fun. Now, organization. Being historian, you will need to be organized just so it's easier to access and actually process. So for me, how I organize my photos is I put it by the date and an event. So every time, for example, we're at RTC, right? I'll be taking photos. I can actually rename the photo because it will be image.jpg or whatever format it is. So I'll just rename it, put whatever unique name of it. If it's a spear battle, I'll put spear battle JPG and I'll store it in the folder. So for instance, we're going to take the example April 24th and we're going to put OTC. That would be an example of how to label folder. So then again, store all event folders in one Google Drive. Personally, I use Google Drive most commonly, but another way you can store your photos is Dropbox. Dropbox is another way you can store photos and videos and has a little more storage than Google Drive. But it is free too. You just need to download it, and it will be all good. Save the photos for end of the year scrapbook. Do not just take a photo and then delete it all of a sudden. Because no, one, you want to save it for the end of your scrapbook so you can share with your key club. And two, why would you delete something that you can remember forever? You know, key club is historic and it's fun and memorable, and you just want to live through it. And then lastly, just share it to your whole key club. You want your key club to recap the best highlights and moments of your key club term. So what is the end of your scrapbook? So the end of your scrapbook is just basically your key club term with the best highlights of photos, videos, or anything that was just fun and memorable. So how to actually create your key club scrapbook. So first up, collect as many pictures and print them out. And when I say collect as many pictures, I don't mean like taking 100 bursts of photos, right? You want to collect the best quality photos, the best clean output photos, because that's what you're going to be putting on your scrapbook. So again, how to actually create your scrapbook. You can either create a scrapbook or buy a scrapbook. To create a scrapbook, you can get pieces of paper, like printing paper, and staple them all up and be like this little flip book that you can put photos all around it. or you can overall just buy a scrapbook that's all blank and you just put in your photos. Another way you can do a scrapbook is buy a presentation board. Like a presentation board where you're like in history and you put all like stacks on it. That's another way you can do use your scrapbook. But personally for me, I would just create my own scrapbook just because I can let my imagination and like get my creativity going on it. So you made your scrapbook, you're looking all fresh and clean. So take your printed photos and actually glue them. This should be quietly common sense. Print out your photos, whether it's on your Apple MacBook or any computer. Just put in your chip, slide it in, and just try to print them out, and then glue them. The thing about gluing is that it's pictures, right? So once you glue it on the pictures, it's going to be hard to remove it if you like mess up. So carefully and be neatly organized when you gluing in your photos. Don't put a photo of RTC into a group of photos with a service event or a fundraiser. No, it should be all neatly organized. The scrapbook should be coming out neat. It should be fun. It should be overall appealing. And then again, add in the event name and date underneath it, or like put a little caption saying, oh, this is a spear battle, or this is our key club doing a fundraiser at whatever such show. And then lastly, share with your key club. I'm gonna say this a lot because you want our key club to be the most memorable. You don't want to leave any memories behind. So, however, since our key club had to be online, this is what I'm gonna be doing with my other historian partner. So what I did is I took screenshots, took photos online, and I just took photos on my phone. So I took photos and pictures on I took photos online on my computer, and then I just took such as like a fundraising or even a board meeting. I just took some photos and I just actually saved it to a Google Drive. And again, I saved each photo into an organized file and I put the date and then event name on it. So after I'm collecting all the photos, my partner and I is actually going to be creating a video slideshow of presenting all the photos. That's another example of for creating a scrapbook. But since of like coronavirus and we haven't been going as much, I came up with the idea of doing a video slideshow just because it's easy to present during like a key club board meeting. So it's easier for board members to see all the pictures that we took and obviously try to create the best moments because like coronavirus sucks. And again, share it with your key club. That's all I have for this year's scrapbook.
You can also submit them to the district for district judging during decon.
Yes. Okay, so types of cameras you use. So personally for me, I have a Nikon camera that I use. And the difference between a Canon and a Nikon is the EOS focus. And what I mean by that is for a Canon, the EOS focus is automatic. So when you're taking photos, you don't need to like get the lens in. You can honestly just have an autofocus. As for a Nikon AFS focus, it is a little bit harder to maneuver, but it actually improves your quality. So for me, I do prefer a Nikon AFS as focus. Now, for example, when you're at RTC, you can't bring a really big camera in just because like it can get broken and you can't. And they won't allow you to bring one. So what I would do is as either take photos on your phone or have like a little pocket-sized camera in for your pocket. So when you're at RTC, everyone's having a good time. If you want to take pictures of a spear battle, you can just whip out your camera for your pocket-sized camera, turn it on, and take pictures on it. And that's how it'll be easier, because you also want to have a good time. You don't want to just be taking photos every now and then. But overall, this is what I would do, or this is the type of cameras what I would prefer. So just to recap, Josh's do's and don'ts of being a historian. Starting off with the do's, again, do retake your photos. We want the best for our key club. We want those quality photos. Again, double check if your setting is on correctly. Double check the environment, if how the sunlight is going. Check the background and where you actually should take a photo. And again, for the background, you shouldn't be taking a photo with like a blurry background or something that's like really weird for your picture. Always check your environment. Again, help out your fellow board members / editors. Give them your advice. Review their work. You're not just supposed to be a historian. You're also supposed to benefit your key club. Again, save each photo with the correct format, the date / event, and then whatever you want to rename that picture. And then again, always put the cap back on the lens. The reason for it is that you don't want your lens to be all dirty or scratchy. And so whenever you're taking a photo, your lenses will be nice and clear, the focus will be really good, and that's going to be our main focal point. And then lastly, always ask for help if needed. It's okay to ask for help. It's actually a good thing. Just because you want the best for your club, you can ask either your board member or any other general members that can actually help you with taking photos or just peer reviewing your work. And now the don'ts. So first off, do not take blurry photos. I know it's not going to be easy taking photos when everybody's moving and like jumping around, but that's just why I prefer a Nikon camera, just because when you're trying to take a picture when everyone's moving around, if you have the correct setting format, it would be easier to take a photo with it. Again, do not mix up the photos. This is why organization is really the key for being a historian, because you don't want to go into a folder and see all these random photos and not even naming it. This would just be all messy and it would be taking hours just to redo it. Do not lose your chip. I cannot stress this enough. How many times I have lost my camera chip. This is a little thing. It's hard. I misplace this all the time. It's gonna be hard for you looking around. The point about this chip is this stores all your pictures that you took in. So if you lose it, all your pictures are gone. There's like no point in taking the pictures if you just lose your ID chip. And it's pretty expensive too if you want to buy a ID chip. Right now I have a SanDisk, which is upgrading my storage. So I took many photos with this. So if I lose it, I'm really going to be stressing out about it. But yeah, so do not show lack of effort. Being a historian, you're supposed to have fun, you're being energetic, you're taking photos of the best of your key club. So please put a lot of effort into it. Don't be taking random photos. Don't be showing lack of effort. Just overall, it should be a fun and good role. Do not edit too much on the pictures. Like I just said, you want to be as realistic as the picture. You don't want to be photoshopping or editing too much on the photo, because that way, what's the point of actually taking the picture if you're just going to put on like some fake images? And do not take long videos. It's okay if you have like 1 to 2 minutes like montages or like recaps of RTC or any fundraising, but do not take long videos. Don't like record the whole thing, because that way, what's the point? That's gonna be like 10 to 15 minutes long. Just overall take videos of the good moments. Do not fill up your storage. There's only two reasons why you would fill up your storage. Is one, you're taking random photos, or two, you're just bursting out photos, meaning to say that you're not showing effort in it. So we only want the best quality photos. We don't want our key club to be proud of us. So please take quality photos and don't fill up your storage. And then lastly, leave any editing mistakes or mishaps. This is the only reason why we should edit, is just to clean up our photo, make it look nice. And again, have your board member or anyone in your key club just to peer review your work. This should be okay. So this is my key club experience. So the two pictures on the top left and on the right is my first time at RTC. At the top left is like my whole key club. This is after we won the Spirit Stick. And then on the right is actually like my whole little friend group that we did with our like before we are going into our spirit battle. And then on the bottom left, I know you guys might be confused about like the whole May thing, but so our key club like had a little bet, if we passed this certain amount of service hours, that our president and vice president would do like a master chef cooking competition, right? And so this is just an example of a photo I had to take online because I couldn't be there physically. So I just took it on my phone, I saved it into the correct date and event, and then afterwards I'm going to be putting it on my video slideshow to present as my scrapbook. And this is just one of many, many photos I've took. So that's just overall my key club experience. So is there any questions, any comments, any concerns? If you guys have questions about setting format or what kind of cameras you should use, just always ask them out. Oh, I'll put my social on the chat too.
Okay, I'm not seeing questions, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording.